Yep. So there have been a few times in my life where I had to train by myself. It's scary, but let me go the history. First was before high school training by myself, which is just like a bunch of push-ups in my in my room and then running outside. I did have my brother, and we would run together sometimes, but most of the time it was just me. And then after high school, when I got to college, I kind of had a couple friends that would train with me. Shout out, guys, if you're watching this, but they didn't want to do legs as much as I did, which Olympic lifting is legs every day. Uh, and then, so it turned out, even though I was in a public gym, I was still kind of training by myself. And then I a joined a CrossFit gym just to do the Olympic lifting because they had the set there. And there's still people around, but starting out, I was kind of training by myself. But then we eventually formed a team, and that was nice. But when we had the house, and I would go to the gym, train people in the morning, in the afternoon, go to work, train for myself, and then come home. That meant I was out of the house 8 to 8, and I was like, okay, well, that's not going to fly with a family, so we set up a home gym. It was before the pandemic, good timing. But then I was training by myself again, and especially at home, you can kind of self sabotage. Um, and it is hard. I'm not gonna lie if you're not used to it. And there is a actual positive reason behind that. Okay, so we as people, we like to be in a group. This is why social media is a thing. This is why you like just hanging out with friends. Because historically, if you went out by yourself without a tribe, it was harder to hunt, harder to defend yourself, and all those things. Okay, but if you are able to train by yourself and get used to it, you kind of start developing this innate higher sense of self motivation because you don't need quote unquote anything, right? It's also getting you ready for the worst case scenario, quote unquote, again, which is just training by yourself, right? A lot of people, they, you feel like I need a training buddy or accountability partner, or I need a coach, or I need a program. I get there are programs just sitting out there on the internet for you. Just pick one, or even in the day to day, I need someone to tell me what to do, tell me what to eat. That would be like saying I can't eat healthy because I need someone to eat dinner with me, or tell me what to eat, or make a meal plan, or make my meal like a personal chef. I know that's kind of extreme, but you have to think about taking personal responsibility for your health the same way you would do for your eating. Um, Now there is this. I don't know. Not really sure why I threw this in there. Oh, I did. I know. There's this phrase out there called the Sigma male, and I don't know a whole lot about it because don't. I haven't looked into much about it, and I don't really like the philosophy. I also don't think it's doing what people think they're doing. But a Sigma male, I guess it could be a Sigma female too, but it's someone that's like going on this path of being a lone wolf for the sake of bettering themselves for themselves, and that's the end of it. That's not what we're doing here. Okay. I think, I'm just going on a tangent here. I think that this higher pressure situation where you're by yourself, I've also mentioned no music before in the past. So no friends, no music, training by yourself. It, puts you in this worst case scenario so that if someone needs guidance or someone else needs a training partner, you're already in the habit of doing it yourself. And it's like, okay, well, no problem. Just join us alongside me. They may need to go trade by themselves and they don't feel like it. And you're that person that can guide them to be consistent without relying on somebody else in the moment. Okay. Also, I don't know, the whole Sigma thing, I'm just like, you're just saying that as a status symbol, even though you say it's not a status symbol, but it's, you're, whatever. Let's see. So if you go along this kind of training by yourself route, see it as a kind of another form of dopamine detoxing. Right. I've already talked about music, cutting entertainment back to set up time mentally and actual time to train. And now you're just like, okay, well, I don't need anybody. I'm comfortable. Even if you go to a commercial gym, I'm comfortable going there by myself. Maybe don't even worry about talking to anybody. And then if someone wants to talk, you can talk, but I don't need a training partner to get me in the mood and motivated and pumped up to go out there and do it. So you like strip all that stuff away and you are more confident in yourself that you can get the job done. And there's a couple of examples that I look up to. One is Clarence Kennedy. He's an Irish Olympic lifter, and he would train. I think he had like two or three friends, kind of that were always in his life that he would train with, but most of his training clips are just by himself. Okay, and he got pretty strong doing that. Another is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and a lot of people know about the movie Pumping Iron, and from there he was already successful in Europe. By the time it was Pumping Iron, it was filmed in LA, and you could see, well, he's with all his friends, Frank Columbo, all those guys. But he was, like I said, training in Europe. So you're telling me that he had training partners all the way till LA? The answer is no. If you read his autobiography, you can just get the sense that he was consistent in training, but it's just like he wasn't always with this huge group of friends. Like he really just wanted it so bad that he would go and train by himself. I think he said he even broke into one of the gyms he would go to was locked, and he would break in the cold and go work out extra because he wanted it so bad. So again, he was so used to, he had the goal and vision in mind that it didn't matter whether he was training or not. And then the group kind of formed around him, like he was going to be in the gym no matter what. And then people, that is motivating for people and they want to be around that. So now how do you do this for yourself? Let's say you're like, oh, well, it's been a while for me. I need accountability partner, blah, 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 blah. You don't. Here's how you do it. Step one, you need to educate yourself as to what you're going to do. I think that's very important because you're like, I need to get fit. What does that mean? Right? Like, look up, or first of all, you need goals that will kind of supplement your education, right? Like, I like to lift. I'm not going to look up a book on running a marathon. So educate yourself about what to do so that when you show up, you're not like, oh, what do I do? I don't know. So your brain is more comfortable going into the activity and it's not so daunting anymore, right? Like if you know what you're going to do the next day, you're like, okay, that's just one less point of friction. You're not showing up to the gym, looking around and see what looks good. And the next one, this is probably why you're watching this, but you bring your training home. If you have a commercial gym, that's great. I know that can be intimidating. So if that's the case, you start working out ways to work out at home. I think an ideal scenario is being able to set up a home gym. If you're not able to do that, a lot of people do good things with a bodyweight only program. Okay. Actually, I'm going to talk about training equipment in the future, but do what you can at home. Okay. When you are able to exhaust that, right? Like if you have absolutely nothing, you can do a bunch of push-ups. You can walk outside. You can sprint outside. You can do, if you want to buy a pull-up bar, pull-ups, right? That way you have no excuses and you can be more consistent. And speaking of excuses, point number 3 is managing your energy, which means if you're training at home, you need to figure out a way to be able to train at a time that you can not talk yourself out of it. I'm just going to put this out there, do it in the mornings because that helps me, right? Like having a home gym is kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, it's right there, but so is your couch, like a few yards away. So your brain is going to be like, hey, you want me to go under that squat rack and sweat when my video games and my Netflix are right there? Which one do you think I'm going to pick? So manage your energy. That I was writing this recently. I would say as early in the day as you can. I think mornings are great for people. And I only say that because I think everybody at night kind of wastes time. Suck it up, do it in the morning. And if you're not able to do that, maybe lunch, afternoon. If your responsibilities are light, you can still make it happen. But I like the morning, kind of like I'm making this video right now. I had no reason to talk myself out of it. So that is it. Like I mentioned before, think of this as you are doing this for others. There is a point in the path of like going to the gym, bettering yourself, where you're just kind of doing it for yourself. Kind of. But that eventually bleeds over to be able to help people, right? Like if you go through this process and you're like, okay, well, I'm a little out of shape. Let me read what will help me. Let me go through this workout. And it's been 3 to 6 months and you see some changes. There is somebody out there that's probably in your life right now that's going to see you and think, man, how did you do that? And it's just, to you, it's like nothing because you've already gone through this process. But now that you've done this work of working on yourself, you are now able to help that person, right? Like that, I think everybody, we know that we all want to help other people, but you can more easily help someone up by pulling them up if you're at a higher level than by pushing them up, trying to push them up. I'm thinking about a ladder or a mountain, right? So if you are in a better position yourself, you're in a better position to help other people. So if that's not a reason to work on yourself, I don't know what is. So thanks for watching. I think people have been liking my training clips. I like doing the talking. So I'm going to do both. So that's it. Subscribe, like. Newsletter version of this is in the description. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, let me know. See you in the next one. Bye.